All right, here we go. So personal protective equipment, PPE, we've talked about it. Most of the time, PPE is provided by your employer. So gloves, steel-toed boots aren't always provided by the employer because they become a fashion statement. Okay? What OSHA likes to talk about is what you use, what you might use for your own personal uses. Okay? So sunglass or sunlight glare and stuff like that is a hazard that requires PPE, but most people drove to the location with sunglasses. The employer wouldn't have to provide that. But if you have carpenters working pounding nails where they need protection from getting hit in the eye outside, then you might have to provide sunglasses that are eye protection as well. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is fall arrest equipment is PPE. Okay? So this is stuff that's supposed to be provided by the employer. It's also acceptable to allow the employee to use their own PPE. Okay? Realizing that the employer is responsible for that PPE. Okay? You're responsible for what people are bringing in. All right? So just know that. Not going to go too much into PPE. Anybody else want to say anything? Yes, ma'am.
Did you just say that the employer is responsible for the employees? So if you're letting your employer use it, you should be checking it.
Yeah.
Well, they need to inspect it for you, and if they say, hey, this has got a tear, it doesn't meet the standards, get it off my set, then they may provide you with one, or you can provide yourself another one, but ultimately, the employer is responsible for the safety equipment.
There's ANSI standards for all this stuff, and you hear it a lot. How many people wearing eyeglasses? How many of you, if you're somewhere and you're using a hammer, you would say, well, I don't need eye protection, I'm wearing eyeglasses. Except your eyeglasses don't fit the ANSI standard for eye protection. So you as an employer technically have to say, no, you have to wear these protections that go over it. Okay?
And in the...
Yep. American National Standards Institute is a voluntary standard for how to do all kinds of things. It standardizes not only safety practices, manufacturing practices, but so that the plugs for a certain computer will fit, so that if you're going to make one, it'll fit other people's computers. They're not law, except that they are referred to in lawsuits. By virtue of doing that, they've kind of become law. Most of the time, the employers want to follow ANSI. Sometimes ANSI is more restrictive than OSHA. OSHA is the ultimate one to follow. Isn't this fun?
And in the pamphlets you have, there's a pretty good listing of some of the PPE with a little bit more detail on it. We also have the examples up here if you want to come and take a look when we wrap up on this thing.
And ESTA, which is a professional organization we talked about, writes standards for our industry. So smoke is an ANSI standard under ESTA. There's other standards, how trusses are manufactured and things as well.